Yo, man, how y'all doing? How y'all doing, man? Y'all already know what time it is. It's Jay chilling in the building, baby. Y'all make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Come to the ninth floor so y'all can learn game the right way. And today, we are going to be reacting to, this is for all my gamers out there, man. I'm making this video strictly for the gamers. So the ladies, all the dudes that still can't get no butt, move to the left. This is for the real gamers, man. You know what I'm saying? And I know y'all boys have already seen the news that's going around with PlayStation. PlayStation was held as the Golden Globe of gaming, man. And I know y'all boys saw that news and how crazy it is. Today we're going to be reacting to Penguin's take on it. And then I'm going to go ahead and get my take on it, man. Let's go ahead and get into it.
I wasn't around to witness the extinction of the dinosaurs, nor was I there to see the death of the final saber-toothed tiger. But boy howdy, I am lucky enough to be here to witness the extinction of physical games. I swear, Sony treats physical media the same way the Men in Black treated people that witnessed alien activity. Get the neuralizer out. Look here. No such thing as discs. There's only digital. They have now just driven the final stake in the vampire's heart, the evil menace known as physical media. They have announced that they are ending physical production in January 2028 for new games releasing on PlayStation consoles. For those that don't know, this means there will never be a physical disc for a PlayStation game, even if it's not a first-party title, because in order to even have a physical game on Sony's platform, it has to go through Sony. Thus, there will no longer be that green light, that thumbs up that lets you make a disc for their platforms. It is only digital going forward. There is only Zool. It's unhinged insanity because this comes only days after Sony just pulled over 500 movies from customers' accounts that they paid for while offering no refunds for it.
And look, man, I truly believe since 2020 we've been living in a simulation. In the sense that since 2020, I feel like the powers that be in the world, right, understood this thing about people, about most people that are in Christians, or at least they understand that American people at large will go for anything. In the sense that you can raise prices on stuff unabated. You can raise prices on gas unabated. You can raise prices on anything unabated. Now, there's a difference between raising prices and inflation. The scary thing about it is that you can tell people that this is due to inflation when it's really not due to inflation. And people will just run with it, right? Before COVID, you know, eggs, you could get an 18, let's just use eggs. You could get an 18 cart of eggs for like 79 cents. Y'all remember those days? Y'all remember those days where we could get a carton of eggs for under $1? Motherfuckers was eating eggs like they were going out of style because you could get them for under $1 right now. You know, wages, stuff like that, stuff has to go up. That's the thing about the economy. In order for the economy to boom, the economy has to go up. Inflation has to go up. It's never going to go away, right? But with the introduction of AI, you know, you got these computer machines that can have a bundle, an encyclopedia of information, and they can do jobs at a more efficient rate than people. These companies have started to realize, especially with the AI boom, right, that motherfucker, you gonna take what the fuck we give you, and you ain't gonna say shit about it. Because the four gargantuan gods of gaming I said right now are Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, and PC gaming, right? These console people are trying to understand, like, motherfucker, there's nothing you can do about what the fuck we got going on. Consoles used to be, and I was having this discussion with my sister, right? Consoles used to be the perfect extension of a computer because it was only made for one thing, for gaming, nothing else. They were optimized strictly for gaming, so they could have the most high-tech shit in there because you're only using it for gaming. You're not using it for the internet. You're not using it for nothing else. But nowadays, bro, these console prices are damn near the same thing as like low-end PCs. It's like if you have $1,000 right now, you could fuck around and build a comparable PC to a console. It might be a little bit harder now because, you know, RAM is also in the motherfucking gutter. You're spending almost $400 on 4 sticks of RAM just to be compatible, stuff like that, and it's only going to get worse. But with the removal of physical discs, some people are saying it's not a big deal, some people are saying it is. The reason why I think it's a big deal, and I hope Penguins gets into it, is the fact that physical data used to mean that you own this stuff. If I give you money for this, I own it now, right? When everything is digital, these companies can at any point eat your money. It's kind of like in a free-to-pay game, right? If Fortnite decides out of any reason, because it's been around for a minute now, to be like, hey, we're done with Fortnite. Fuck Fortnite. All the money you spent on skins, all the money you spent on anything in the game just vanishes into thin air. It's already got into their pockets. They've already spent it. They say thank you, and they get the fuck on. And that's terrifying because now these gaming companies are basically, it's like, we're just taking your money for investment at this point because I guarantee you Xbox is going to do because they got to compete. Xbox can't. If Sony is still going to be making money with no physical, Xbox has to do the same.
So customers had 500 movie titles that have now just fizzled into the ether, into the fucking back rooms, and Sony says, suck our dick. You don't even get your money back. So you paid for limited access to these films. You rented them fundamentally, even though you were under the impression that you were buying them and owning them. But because of this digital landscape, you don't own anything. You are paying for a ticket that gives you access for a set amount of time, depending on the companies or depending on the licensing. The movies are getting pulled because of a licensing issue with Studio Canal, but it's Sony's platform, and now all the customers that wasted their clams on it have nothing to show for it. It's just a void. It's blank now. You will own nothing and be happy, and Sony shamelessly makes this announcement in light of that, while also announcing that they're shutting down the PSN store for PlayStation 3 and PS Vita, meaning hundreds, if not thousands, of digital games that existed on those platforms are now gone forever and not preserved because there wasn't physical copies of them. They were just digital titles there. So they are genuinely right in your face, hitting fucking Fortnite emotes on that ass, laughing and goatsing in front of you, showing like, yeah, you will own nothing and be happy. Look, we just took down this store, revoking your access to these games that you paid for. They're gone, Buster, and there's nothing you can do about it, Slime. Not even the Dragon Balls could wish these back into existence. Shinron is powerless against PlayStation. But let's not get too rambunctious off rip. Maybe they've got a really good reason for it. In response to shifting trends in consumer preference, new games will be released on PlayStation Store and at retailers in digital formats only. Oh, shifting trends. You mean like how when GTA just announced with no physical edition, people were rightfully fuming, pointing out how awful that is in light of everything that's happened in this industry where you can just have your access to the things you purchased revoked at any point in time. So if you don't have something physical, you literally own nothing. You own the idea of something. It's imagination. SpongeBob and Patrick in the Box. Imagine.
And here's what I think is gonna happen, right? So I'm 27, right? But I remember like when I was young, this was like right before my time. Here's what I think is gonna happen. It's gonna be the same thing that happened with music, right? In the fact that people are going. There's always That's one thing I love about being like humanity, right? We always find a workaround. Here's what's gonna happen when they do all this stuff only on digital, right? Someone's going to find a way to basically strip these games, right, off the digital store, do something like that, and they're going to sell them as physical copies somewhere. Mark my words. It might not happen right away because there has to be outrage right away, but there's going to be someone mad enough that's going to dedicate all their time to basically making like a black market store for digital games only. And I'm telling you it's going to happen because it happened with music. When people were like, bro, I don't want to pay for all this music and shit like that, people found a way to strip the music off like sites and stuff, or strip albums and then sell them. And I'm telling you right now, that's exactly what is going to happen with gaming. Because what do you mean I paid $100 for GTA 6 and out of nowhere, let's say the servers go down or whatever, Sony servers go down, now I can't play my fucking game. I have to wait for Sony to get their shit together. That's what's probably going to happen. Sony's been hacked so many times. Someone is going to hack Sony on day one of GTA and no one's going to be able to play the game. Because removing the ability for people to enjoy their content in the way they want to enjoy it. Maybe some people like to rent stuff because they only want it for a little bit. Some people like to buy stuff to add it to a collection. When you're doing it like this, I'm telling you, man, this was always bound to happen. I always felt like $70, $80 games were bound to happen when you would take a look at these like collector editions and stuff like that, because they've always been removing less and less out of these collector editions. Back in the day, if you spent $100 on a game, bro, they were giving you the most obscene shit, bro. They were giving your ass like swords, collectibles, books, soundtracks, CDs, all this stuff, bro. Nah, bro, your ass will be lucky if you get a fucking book with your purchase. And now with GTA, you don't even get anything with the fucking $100 version. You just get access to more stores in the game. what do you think is going to happen with more and more of these games? Because more of these games are getting more and more expensive. It's such a dumb business model because I understand that capitalist society, the goal is just to keep making more and more money. But what do you do when people just don't have money to spend on your bullshit? You're just throwing money into a furnace at them. It's actually insane.
Imagining that they own their games right now when it's digital only. So if anything, the shifting trend in consumer preference is swinging back the other way to preferring physical media because of how bad this whole digital only shit has been. As consumer preferences and the broader entertainment industry continue to shift away from physical disc to digital, physical game disc production for all new games releasing on PlayStation consoles will be discontinued in January of 2028. Also, again, a load of barnacles, this is horseradish. People are wanting more physical now. Like, for me personally, I've been a big advocate of physical media for at least like the last year and a half, if not 2 years, because of this trend that we've been seeing of just losing access to what you've spent money on. You're buying nothing. You are not buying anything. And they're just dangling their dicks right in front of our faces. Ubisoft unapologetically said consumers need to get more comfortable not owning their games. Like, how can you possibly be supportive of this? And people aren't. Like I said, I think the preference is shifting away from digital in light of wanting more physical. Following this date, new games will be available on PlayStation Store and at retailers in digital formats only. This transition has no impact on games that already released or will be releasing prior to January 2028 in disc format. Also, something worth noting, this doesn't, like, they're saving a lot of money on not making physical games anymore, but it's not going to reflect in the pricing. The games are still going to be $70, $80 games. So, like, you're still getting slapped around with the pricing. It's not like this is going to bring down the cost of a now spiraling out of control industry. This is a natural direction for Sony Interactive Entertainment to adapt to consumer trends as the general preference for digital media significantly outpaces physical discs. This transition will enable us to align more closely with how most of our community prefers to access and play games today. We'll continue to prioritize our resources to drive innovation and how players can access games and provide choices as to where players prefer to purchase new games, whether that's at retailers or the PlayStation Store. We remain committed to delivering a world-class gaming experience to our fans, and we thank you for your continued support. Hey pal, you just blew in from Stupid Town? If you are a digital-only platform, why the fuck would anyone choose you over Steam? Like, genuinely. You have a worse store, you shut down.
No, literally. And that's what I'm saying, right? Because I've been PC gaming for like the last 2 years, right? And what I love about PC gaming is that even though it's more difficult to like set up and everything else like that, bro, everything is literally cheaper on Steam and CD keys. What, like, yeah, there might not be like exclusives and stuff, but bro, motherfuck that, bro. I don't give a fuck about exclusives. I want to have the ability to play the most games that I can possible. And the thing with Steam is that if you have a computer, I mean, you can buy a disc eject drive, bro. You could buy like 50 blank CDs and then just copy all the media onto those CDs. So you technically own the games on PC. You know, the way that they're going, you're not going to be able to own anything on console. So I truly believe, right? Oh man, this is going to suck so bad. I truly believe, right, here's what's going to happen. Either Steam is going to start copying these dudes, or these dudes are going to get eaten up by PC. It's going to go one of two ways. Because while the government tries to act like we got to get rid of all these monopolies, all these boom, 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 eventually everything becomes just one with the way that these companies are going because they're so stupid. Because when you start to realize a lot of these companies, right, are at the behest of shareholders first, and then the people second, it really becomes like this kind of sad thing where like these shareholders are so hungry for profit, for profit to buy and hold power for as long on as they can that they don't understand that they're eating the roots of the tree that they built. Because I guarantee you, right, after 2028, where they're talking about, you know, no more physical discs, no more boom, 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 all this stuff like that. When they drop their new consoles or whatever, and they're digital only, do you think that they're going to go back to disc after that? No. Everything is just going to become digital. You have to come to us to get our food type of stuff. And it's going to ruin everything. When everything becomes like this kind of like, we're not exclusive, but we're kind of exclusive, but you got to come fuck with us, come shop with us type of thing. With games, it's going to ruin the gaming industry. Because I'm telling you, people are either going to all move over to their computers. People are either all going to move over to the computers, right? Or if they don't all move over to the computers, they're going to find roundabout ways to finagle the system. And that's the only way.
Your stores, too, you literally just shut down the PS3 store and PS Vita one, so people wouldn't even feel comfortable buying from your store, considering at any point in time they'd have to be like living in fear that you're going to swoop in like the boogeyman and take away the things they bought. You have a much weaker store in terms of titles than Steam, so why would they choose you? Like, yes, it is more expensive to build a PC that can handle, like, you know, more high-end gaming, but there are solid entry-level PCs out there, and yes, while PS5 is cheaper than that right now. I imagine the PS5 prices are going to go up as well, reflective of Xbox price increase. I think that's the writings on the wall. There's going to be a price increase pretty soon. So eventually the gap's not going to be that big in terms of like price discrepancy between PS5 and PC. And again, PC has a much more robust catalog of games to choose from in the digital-only format with Steam. So why the fuck would anyone ever even consider shopping exclusively on the Sony PlayStation Store after you keep going scorched earth on physical media and taking away people's products that they bought, thinking that they owned them? Like, the way they're treating this shit, I wouldn't be surprised if they start going door to door, treating people that own physical PlayStation discs like terrorists. Like, excuse me, we're gonna need to sweep the premises here. We need to check your house. Do you have physical discs here? We got a tip. And they just start like taking it physically out of your hands to make you shop at the store. A store which, by the way, is more expensive shopping digital only on older titles. So if you bought the physical copies for some of the games here, like this tweet illustrates, you saved money getting the physical edition on like God of War, Ragnarok, Gran Turismo, those kind of things. Now that that's off the table going forward, these games presumably are never going to get cheaper on the PlayStation Store because they are still charging full price for these older games on their store. So they're looking to even make more money off of going digital only when getting physical down the line has been cheaper. Now they've fully got it by the titties here. They fully control it directly. So they never have to bring the price down because there's only digital options to choose from now. You can't get a physical edition.
And that's what I think is the goal of all these joints, right? Because back in the day, there was nothing more beautiful than going to the store, finding a game that you wanted to cop for years, and that bitch is like $5. That shit was beautiful. The shit was nice and beautiful. But now what they're trying to push is like, this price is going to be the same price forever. But the main reason I moved from Xbox over to PC is because a game that I wanted, I watched the price of that game for a full fucking, that shit never went under $60. I was like, game, this is a year-old game. How is this shit still worth $60? I went to CD Keys, right? The price was still high for the Xbox game, but I went to PC, that shit was 50% off. I said, oh yeah, I'm never going back to console again. And I tried to go back to console one more time, and I was just like, bro, I'm not fucking with this. Console gaming is going to die within the next 5-6 years, give it to this.
Now for these upcoming games. Thus, the price doesn't ever have to go down if Sony doesn't want it to, and it looks like they really don't want it to. Still paying full price for some of these older titles to this day. Now let's take a peek at the bright future of digital only with Sony's immaculate track record of having stores that they shut down and take away the shit that you spend your money on. This is their announcement about shutting down the PS3 and Vita store. After nearly 2 decades of supporting the PS3 console generation, we wanted to let you know we'll be closing the PlayStation Store on PS3 as well as Vita. PlayStation Store on PS3 will close in select markets starting this year, followed by global pressures for PS3 and Vita next year. That means new content purchases will no longer be possible once the PlayStation Store closes on these devices. To ease the transition, players will still be able to download previously purchased content after the closing date for this foreseeable future. As the PlayStation Store continues to evolve to support modern commerce systems, including updated payment processing standards, PS3 and Vita are no longer able to support these updates at the level required. As a result, we will need to close PlayStation Store on these devices in the time frames as followed. They then list out the time frame where eventually life support will be pulled on July 2027. That's doomsday. We know this news may be disappointing to PS3 and Vita players who hold a special place in their hearts for this generation of gaming. They represent an important era in PlayStation history. It wasn't an easy decision. As they continue to expand the PlayStation experience on newer devices most of our users are playing on today, we need to focus more resources on delivering the best gaming experience on these platforms as we look towards the future. To our amazing players, we want to give our heartfelt thanks for your ongoing passion and support, which they love to keep wiping their ass with, by the way. Thanks for all the passion and support, Sony fans. We're going to keep taking away your games, by the way, and no physical media, by the way. Thank you again. Big thumbs up. Come give us a fist bump. Which has helped inspire us to shape PlayStation into what it is today. What? A pile of dog shit?
Like, literally, thank you for all your money so we could all become richer so we can make more expensive consoles and take away your right to own anything.
Like, it's insulting. We're excited for the future ahead as we continue to push the boundaries of play. We look forward to having you on this journey with us as we explore new game worlds and new adventures that have yet to come. What a heartfelt message to the community and to gamers worldwide. Hey, you should shop with us digitally. And yes, we might just shut it all down at some point, so everything you spent hundreds, if not thousands of dollars on will vanish, and you have no recourse. That's just something you're going to have to live with. Why aren't you getting your wallet out? Why are you guys not shopping on PlayStation Store right now? This is exciting. This is coming from a place of passion. We're pushing boundaries here for a generational experience for our community. We're doing everything. We're bending over backwards for you bitches. You're so selfish. What? You want to own your games? Are you crazy? You want to own your games? No. You think you want to own your games, but you don't want to own anything. You want us to control it. You want us to take it away at some point. You want it digitally. Please, come on. Get in here. It's stupid, man. It's so stupid. They're so out of touch, it's painful. Naturally, everyone's pointing to this with the PS4 where they showcased, here's how you share your games on PS4, and then they hand each other the physical copy and say thanks. This was a massive dunk at the time, pushing back against a lot of shit we were seeing the industry starting to do at that point already with how they were handling like sharing games and such. And this was Sony lat spreading here and making disc-based games a large part of the PS4's identity, which became a big selling point at the time that really propelled it above the competitors. And they made it clear with PS4 that physical was something they valued greatly and like the importance of being able to share a game.
You know, I felt like I kind of saw this coming when I saw that they were starting to allow like PlayStation and Xbox games to go in between joints, bro. I honestly think these two companies are gonna merge at some point. Because I feel like the pressure's gonna get too big for them, and they're gonna be like, "Fuck, bro, we got rid of digital game, we got rid of physical games. Xbox got rid of physical games. The only way we're gonna be sustainable is if the Xbox sector and the PlayStation sector merge. So I don't know, we can make some like oofy doofy Giga Chad console that's just a merge of the two that can do physical games. But then it becomes like, still, why wouldn't I just get a PC at that fucking yeah.
Back and forth, physically passing it to one another. This was a huge, huge successful campaign that they ran about that. So a core part of PlayStation's identity, not even that long ago, was these physical discs and being able to share the physical discs like that. Look at us now. Look at how quickly shit's changed. And changed for the worse. Significantly worse. There are no benefits to this change. There is no one that should be excited about this, because why would you as a consumer even want to have the chance that what you bought disappears? You spent your money on it. You should own it. But you don't. And they're not even being honest with you about what you're doing. You're not even buying to own, you are renting from them. They're not even calling it what it is, which is renting. You are getting admission to this product, a license to this product for however long they deem necessary, or however long their deals with the licensor, like in the case of the movies, lasts. But you as a consumer could very well end up with nothing, like they just take it away from you. It shouldn't be something you're okay with. Like it shouldn't. If you are okay with it, you're wrong for being okay with it. I'm just going to tell you right to your face. That is dumb. You should own what you are spending your money on here in this industry. And they're not even...
And the shit that's crazy about it too, right, is like, I remember there was a game I wanted to cop recently, right? I think it was the X-Men Origins Wolverine game, right? The fun as hell. And I couldn't find it. And the reason I figured out I couldn't find it is because the game had been taken off of all the stores, right? Because of a licensing deal, right? So here's what I want people to really sit there and think about and understand. Let's say that happens. Like, let's say Sony doesn't renew their deal with Marvel or whatever big company or whatever, right? That means all the games that would be on the Sony store that have that character in their likeness would just get wiped from the store unless they renew the deal. And that's what I don't think people are understanding. Like, having a physical disc means like you kind of have like a relic or something in time that you can always go back to. When you don't own that, there's certain stuff like where if you don't own it, they can just take it away from you at any time, and all the hours, all the memories that you have with it, just like, they just go away into the void. And there's nothing you can do about it because you don't have enough bread to go against these companies. You don't have enough bread to do anything because you're struggling so hard to like survive. Like, are you really going to go to war about a game and stuff? I think this shit is sick, man. But for all the gamers, all the guy and girl gamers, right? How do y'all feel about this change? We all know it's not just going to stop at Sony. We all know that GTA, because GTA is going to be so successful, they're saying it's going to make $1 billion in the first 24 hours. GTA has set the precedent that not only are games going to be $70 and $80 going forward, but digital copies of stuff are what people are going to buy. So what's y'all take on that, man? Y'all make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Come to the 9th floor so y'all can learn game the right way. I'm out this joint, man.